And our next guest is, well, to people in Hamilton, he really needs no introduction. He's one of the best players to ever play Canadian university football. From the first day he walked onto the McMaster campus in 2008, big things were expected of him, which he was a youngster from South Widdsley, Ontario, just outside of Windsor. But Kyle Quinlan met every one of those expectations and then exceeded them. In 2011, in what was one of the greatest games we've ever seen, Kyle led the McMaster Marauders to their first ever Vanier Cup championship, a double overtime thriller over Laval. Kyle won the Ted Morris Memorial Trophy as the game MVP. He threw for 482 yards and he rushed for 106. The next year, he was even better as a player. He was the Head Coach Award winner, as the best player in the country. He led the Marauders back to the Vanier Cup, where they lost to Laval in front of a Vanier Cup record crowd at the Rogers Centre, more than 37,000 fans. In the spring of 2013, he was named the CIS Male Athlete of the Year. In the past few years, he's been coaching. He coached a little bit at McMaster. He spent a year as a head coach at a small college in Charlottetown, PEI, called Holland College. So he coaches the team, head coach, leads them to a championship. And he's currently the offensive coordinator with York University Lions. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring up Kyle Quinlan. You know, it's almost 5 years since that epic Vanier Cup game, and you're coaching now at York. A lot of the players probably have never met you before. They might have known about you, but it's funny, 5 years later, you still get asked about that game.
Yeah, more about specific moments in the game. You know, guys talk about me jumping the one player there. So it's more specific things. You know, I think we were very fortunate at the time when we were at our peak here at McMaster. It was the peak of coverage. You know, really, if you look at Sports Center, you know, TSN, a lot of those guys had lots of coverage around the CIS. So we definitely benefited from that. There was a wide audience around the country that were able to watch us at our best.
You mentioned the play where he leaped over a defensive back, one of the spectacular plays in that game, but there were so many great plays in that game. But do you have any specific memory, or is it kind of a blur? But is it the Tyler Perpignan game-winning field goal and the celebration of your teammates? Is that what sticks out the most?
Oh, certainly, yeah. The final moments, you know, it was an exhausting game, obviously going to double overtime against those guys. You know, they're going to keep coming at you. So definitely when we finally won it at the very end, you know, Tyler, it was beautiful that he got redemption after missing the first kick. You know, he's been a pro all the way through his career, so it's nice to see him now doing the same thing.
He got some redemption the other day with his game-winning field goal against the Ticats. One story maybe a lot of people aren't familiar with, and someone refreshed my memory about this the other day, is that the night before the game, the Vanier Cup, the players and coaches had a meeting, and things got pretty emotional. Everyone stepped up and said something, and it was very emotional. Some players and coaches even left the meeting. They were in tears. What kinds of things were talked about at that meeting? I know that you did talk about what it meant to be in that game. You talked about things like heart and desire, but you also talked about the McMaster community and the football community here in Hamilton, right?
Oh, certainly. You know, that was a very emotional year. We obviously had lots of ups and downs that year going into it, and you know, that's the beautiful thing about CIS sport in general, is that, you know, guys are at this stage in their lives when they're trying to figure out a lot of that stuff. It's a nice outlet for that. You know, so the opportunity for us to rally around each other in a big moment like that was huge. You know, you mentioned the community at McMaster and the community within Hamilton. You know, that's why I'm excited about this venue here today and this opportunity to have the Vanier House in Hamilton. You know, there's no better football community in Canada, in my opinion. You know, that was one of the big reasons when I came from Windsor to McMaster. You know, to spend 7 years here in Hamilton and really enjoy the crowd support, you know, the city support around Hamilton. Unbelievable football fans, as Craig had mentioned.
And what's your marital status?
I'm currently dating a beautiful woman over there.
Anyway, so good to have you here, and continued success with York. You're doing a good job with the offense there, and it's a tough task to rebuild any kind of a program in Canadian university football, but you're on the right track, and it's great to have you back. So much. Kyle Quinlan, everyone.